Hey everybody, Josh Wilmoth here with Central Texas Technology Solutions. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to kick off a new series that's going to be called the 12 Days of Cybersecurity. So what we're going to do is each day we're going to pick apart a very integral piece of your business in cybersecurity to make sure you're protected. And today we're going to talk about spam. So at the end of today's presentation, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to save some money here at the end of the year and move forward with some new technology in the new year. So, spam. Everybody has to deal with it to some degree, and it's something that continuously gets worse day after day, year after year. If you're like us, you live and breathe within your email. You're always in it. The thing is that spammers know that, and so they know that they've always got your attention, because you're sitting there working on your day-to-day activities and a new email comes along and it piques your interest and you jump onto it and you see what it's about. It's a proposal, it's whatever it may be. Those are all different threats that are coming in at you at all times. So let's break this thing apart. So spam, what is spam? Spam is an email that comes into you that's unsolicited. So that could be from JCPenney's, it could be from Kmart, it could be from a Russian hacker. You really don't know. So the bad guys have really gotten really good at putting together legitimate looking emails to try to trick you to thinking that email really did come from JCPenney's or Amazon, whatever your favorite vendor is. So what I wanted to do is to kind of go through a couple items and give you some tips on how to identify those and also share with you some ideas on how to protect yourself moving forward. But did you know that 1 in 5 small businesses will suffer a cyber breach this year? Just think about that. In the vendors and the folks that you work with on a daily basis, 1 out of every 5 of those businesses is going to deal with some kind of security breach. Majority of the time, those breaches come and start from an email, a spam email, a phishing email, some sort. Some other interesting stats is it is estimated that 50 to 75% of all email is spam. That's huge, and the billions and billions of emails that are sent out every single day. And the spam costs between around $200 billion every year. And that's decreasing your productivity and just increasing your technical expenses that you have going on. So how do you prevent spam? So first of all, never ever reply back or click on any of the links in the messages. You hear this all the time, but you'd be surprised on how many people do not listen to that warning. So make sure that the email that did come through is something that you're expecting and it looks legitimate, that there's no misspelled words, that there's nothing that makes it look a little odd to you. So watch out for that. Another tip you can use is reading your email as a text. So there's settings in majority of the email browsers out there that will not display images and will not display links, but puts everything in a clear text format. It's really boring, it's really vanilla, but it works. It's an option that you can use. Another thing you can use if you're an Outlook user is using the preview pane. You've got the ability to preview the messages down below or on the side. It's something that's already built in your day-to-day activities. It's just a setting in there that'll help you be able to keep an eye out for emails and things that just don't look right. And kind of in our day-to-day busy activities, from clicking to the next thing, it'll help you keep an eye on that. Next is never use a free email program, especially to run your business. So the reason it's free is because they're getting something from you. And that's a whole nother story. We'll cover that another day. But with the free software and the free email programs, you have very, very little ability to control spam. And your settings are set to meet the needs of everybody, not for you and your organization. So if you're a healthcare organization, you're dealing with Social Security numbers and patient information, your spam settings are not set for somebody that is on the financial needs and are working through the financial side of business. So make sure that you've got an application that's sitting there watching your spam and watching your email that's customizable. If you do have something in place that is a customizable solution for spam protection, make sure that it's configured properly. Just because it's in place doesn't mean it's configured properly. So take a quick glance at that and see what those settings are, and see what the ability to create different policies based on the individual, based on the company as a whole. Next is just use a spam filter in general. So a lot of us back in the day would use Outlook's spam filter if it made it to the junk mail. Well, you need more protection than that now. It needs to be at the server level, and even before it gets to the server level. So there's free and inexpensive things you can put in place today to make sure that those emails don't even make it into Outlook. Because if they're blocked before you even get it, number one, it doesn't take your attention away from what you're working on, and number two, it's one less risk you have to worry about. So here are some tips to know if it is spam. Take a look at the email address. If it contains a long string of characters before the @ sign, then it's very likely to be spam. So by just taking a quick peek, if this is not a normal email or something that looks out of the ordinary from what you're used to, take a look at that and see if there's anything odd with that. Look at the to field. See if the message was sent to several unrelated names in a distribution list, or it could likely be spam. But if it was sent to folks within your organization or folks without your organization, look what those email addresses are, just to kind of give you an idea of what that message contains. Another item is sense of urgency. The email come through asking you to do something right away and within 4 hours to an unknown sender? A lot of times they create this urgency that, I got to have this bid proposal in the next 4 hours. If you want in on this, this big opportunity, you're going to have to get on it right away. You click on that you open that PDF or open that zip file, they've got you. They've compromised your machine. Any number of things can happen at that point. Next is grammatical and spelling errors. When you're looking at an email message, we all make spelling mistakes from time to time, but do they make things over and over again? Does the English not sound quite right? So keep an eye out for the spelling and grammatical errors. What about generic greetings? Does it say, hey, Mr. Dear Valued Customer, or Mr. IT Consumer? So make sure that by in the greetings, somebody that you're normally dealing with, if your name's Josh, that they're calling you, hey, Josh, instead of Mr. Valued Customer. Take note of those things. Another piece that's huge is the links. So the links within the email. So they're asking you to go do something. They're asking you to click on this link to go do something. Before you click on anything, take your mouse and hover over the link and take a look at the URL. And is it something that matches what you're expecting? If it's something from JCPenney's or Amazon, is it something that's pointing you to that location? So be mindful of that and just keep an eye on that. Lastly, requests that are asking for personal information. So, banks, eBay, PayPal, other online services are never going to email you and ask for your personal information through email. So they're going to wait for you to call them, initiate that conversation, or log into their online service and then provide them with the information that they're requesting. But they're never going to send you an email requesting that you fill out this form in order to get, this money transferred over to your account. It's just not going to happen. So, things you want to make sure you take a look at for a solution provider in regards to spam. You want to make sure that you've got somebody that is watching both the inbound and outbound email filtering. Somebody that's making sure that you don't have stuff coming in that's bad, but you're not have an infected computer that's sending stuff out, being part of the problem. Another piece is compliance. If you're working in a financial institution or a company that has to be HIPAA compliant, you want to make sure that there's a policy in place so you're not inadvertently sending information out, not only from a spam standpoint, but from a compliance standpoint, to make sure that your company's not liable for the intern to be doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, that they didn't know. The next is a continuity piece. We live and die by our email nowadays. If you were, without your email for X amount of time, let's say 4 hours, what would that do to your organization? Would you be able to operate? Would it just be a setback? Would it be an inconvenience? There's services out there now that give you the opportunity to have continuity within your email application. So you've got two different sources that are getting the same email. So in case one goes down, then you're able to go into the other one and continue to be operational no matter what. What about archiving? Storing of emails is something that a lot of us do. We've got email that is accumulated over the years that we don't ever want to get rid of. Now that we've got so much of it, it's not time effective to go in and go delete that email. So we continue to just hoard it and accumulate it and accumulate it. So a great archiving utility is going to be able to take every single email for everybody in your organization that are coming in and out, and then be able to store that so it frees up resources on your local machine, and then also gives you the ability to go search those items if you need them way out in the future. And lastly, something that's huge and something that's going to be becoming more and more part of our daily activities is encryption. Having a user-friendly encryption email with no plugins or apps, simply to wrap brackets around something in an email subject that encrypts it, is going to give you the ability to quickly exchange information with a vendor, with a provider that's encrypted, and to make sure that that information that you pass along is secured. And that's going to be very important as we move into the future. So we've gone through a couple different scenarios of how to identify some spam, the biggest risk to the organization, how we can fix that. One of the things we'd like to pass along to you guys in the Christmas spirit is passing along a 50% discount on any spam solution this month. So if you decide to move forward with a spam solution that CTTS provides, we'll give you 50% off that spam solution for the whole entire contract. So those solutions can cost anywhere from pennies to tens of dollars per user. So to give you a ballpark. So and everything in between. So thank you for watching. We appreciate it very much. Tomorrow we're going to cover passwords. We're going to talk about security. We're going to talk about policies on the network. We're going to talk about USB storage and how to select a good password. So hopefully you've got some value out of this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Give us some love with some thumbs ups and any content that you might have. If you've got questions, feel free to leave them in the box below. You'll be able to get to our Facebook page here and reach out to us directly at 512-388-5559. And we appreciate your time. Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.